Taking the first step of hiring your first content VA is a big one that can be filled with a lot of scaries, frustration, and what the heck am I even doing feelings. But at the same time, a content VA is usually one of the first hires a business owner will make, and one that, when done right, can pay off big in terms of freeing up your time and allowing you to scale. So, in this video, I'm going to walk you through my very thorough, practically fail proof hiring process for finding and hiring your first content VA. Welcome back to Your Content Empire, the YouTube channel dedicated to helping you get more consistent and profitable with content the easy way. I'm your host, Haley Dale, a content and sales funnel strategist obsessed with bringing you all the latest and greatest in content and marketing. Thinking about hiring your first content VA, or maybe you've tried in the past and it did not turn out the way you wanted it to. Finding the right content VA for your business can be really tricky. For starters, it's often a big challenge to even articulate what you're looking for, what they'll be doing, what skills they should have, and how they'll be using their time. Plus, you might not even have your own systems figured out yet, which makes bringing someone in even tougher in terms of training and onboarding. And the thing I hear the most, it's almost impossible to know if the person you want to hire actually has the skills to do what you need them to until they're in that role and doing it. At the same time, a content VA is usually one of the first hires that a business owner makes. There are a lot of time consuming tasks that come along with content, like social media, scheduling, creating images, formatting, sending newsletters, etc. So, bringing somebody on to help with these things can majorly free up your time for more of the strategy and original content creation, or allow you to focus on things that are going to allow you to grow your business faster, like collaborations and sales, service delivery, and product creation. So, in this video, I'm going to walk you through my step by step process for finding and hiring your first content VA. Plus, you can grab my content VA hiring spreadsheet for free down below this video that's going to help you implement this action plan and get my personal templates for the job posting, evaluating candidates, and a checklist to find your unicorn content VA. Before we can get to hiring, though, we have to talk finding the right person. And this is where the majority of the work actually happens. In fact, the people I see who have the worst luck with hiring usually gloss over these steps. Step number one, get clear on who you're looking for. So, before you can find someone, you have to know who that someone is. This is especially true when it comes to dating, hairdressers, and hiring, which means answering some very important qualifying questions, such as number one, how experienced do you want your content VA to be? Do you want someone with a lot of experience and who requires very little training, such as our content dream team for hire over in the agency? Or are you more open to training and mentoring someone? What type of tasks is this person going to be doing for you? I have a post here about 50 things that you can start outsourcing in your business for inspiration. And I'll put a link below this video as well. Number three, does location matter? Do you want someone in the same time zone as you or a different one? Do you prefer that they're in the same place for some in person co working? Number four, how much are you able to pay per hour or per month? How does this compare to the average rate based on that level of experience that you're looking for? And finally, what qualities are you looking for in your content VA? For example, is attention to detail important? Likely yes. Writing skills, ability to meet deadlines. If you're not sure what you want your content VA to take off your plate, start making a list of all the things that you do, content and marketing wise, or things that you would do if you had more time. Then give those things a time estimate for how long you spend doing them and a couple of scores 1 to 10 based on how happy you'd be to never do that again and how easy it would be to train someone else to take them over. Those with higher scores are great candidates for outsourcing first to your content VA. Remember, you can download my free content VA spreadsheet for a template to come up with these tasks down below this video. Step number two, create your job posting. With those questions answered, once you have a general idea of what you want your content VA to do and how long these things will take, the next step is to create your job posting. In the content VA spreadsheet down below this video, I have a template and a sample for you, but you could just create your own in a Google Doc as well. Here are the sections I like to include. Number one is job title, usually content VA. Job description, what you're looking for, or a general idea of the responsibilities, so content marketing and details about the position, maybe remote, contractor, number of hours per week, and hourly rate or range. The next thing is responsibilities. So add in there a list of the types of things they'll be working on day to day. This is one of the first questions you'll get in the interview. Next up is requirements. So, what experience do they need to have, and what are your other must haves? Next up, qualities. So, a list of qualities that you want the person to have, i.e., attention to detail, positive attitude. Next up, bonus points. Are there any extras that you have on your wish list that aren't exactly deal breakers, but they're nice perks for you, i.e., maybe experience with certain tools? Next up is about your business. So give them a little bit of a description, a little bit of a background about who you are, who you work with, and where you're located and what you do. And finally, how to apply. How should they submit their application and what should they include in it? This is where I like to include a little attention to detail test by asking them to include something in the application and seeing who actually follows the instructions or not. It makes it very easy for weeding out potential applicants. And an extra tip here, if you're hiring locally instead of online, my secret job title to use is coordinator instead of VA. So I'd use content coordinator instead of content VA, marketing coordinator instead of marketing VA, etc. That brings us to step number 3, which is posting the job ad. So once you have the job posting written up, it's time to decide where you want to post it and source your applicants from. There are a lot of options out there, but here are some considerations to keep in mind when choosing where you're going to post it. Number one, if you want to find a VA with experience who does this as their main gig with multiple clients, you could post in a Facebook group, ask for recommendations, post on social media, or send to your email list. However, if you want to find someone local, you could post on Indeed or any local job board. Finally, another option, if you're open to mentoring and training, is to post something at your local college or university. Personally, I stick with the latter two options unless I'm hiring for specialized a one-off project. I try to reserve one spot on my team for mentoring a college student so I can help them build their resume, gain skills, get a job experience, and make money with the flexible hours. I know how much I would have loved to have this type of opportunity when I was in university, so I keep that in mind. So once you've posted your job and you're starting to get some applicants, step 4 is to evaluate the applications. So after posting the job, I usually wait 4 to 5 days before starting this next step, which is to evaluate the applications. So then I do a quick scan through, removing anyone who either really isn't a great fit or hasn't completed the application process, included things that I asked for. Then I go back through once again and invite the remaining applicants to the next step, which is to complete a Google form, which helps make sure I have all of the info I need to only get on a call with the top candidates. I don't want to waste my time and I don't want to waste anyone else's either. Then, step number 5 is to send the next stage applicants to a form. So, speaking of the form, it can be hard to know whether just from a resume or cover letter if someone is a good fit for your business. And I used to find that I'd be getting on a call with a dozen or more candidates and still have no idea how to make a decision. Now I create a form that asks job specific, business specific questions that I build in a Google form and then evaluate the candidates blindly based on their answers to ensure fairness. Here are some questions that you might want to include on a Google form or some other form for your content VA. Number 1, please describe your experience with creating content for an online business. 2, please describe your experience doing social media for an online business. 3, which of the following do you have experience? Check off all that apply. Uploading blog posts to WordPress, formatting and scheduling newsletters, scheduling Instagram content, scheduling social media content, creating and scheduling pins to Tailwind, and anything else that you do in your business. What sort of availability do you have during the week or whenever you want them to be working? Number 5, this is my favorite. What is your Myers Briggs profile? You can take the test here and then I include the link. Anything else I should know? You can use whatever free personality test you like here or not. I don't use it to decide on who to hire, but it just helps me understand the responses within a bigger context. Step 6, evaluate the application forms. Once you have the completed Google Forms, you can export them as a Google Sheet and hide the email and name associated with the responses. Then I use a scoring spreadsheet to evaluate the candidates. Here's a look at my own. Number one, I don't put down names or identifiers until I've gone through and scored and ranked people. That way I can make sure that I'm checking my bias and making sure that I'm grading everyone, scoring everyone really fairly. Then, number two, I give a score on my main criteria of one, two, or three. Finally, I add up the scores to see who's in the top. Then I reach out to the top two to three candidates for an interview, which brings me to step number seven, which is all about those interviews. The interview for me is really just about clarifying any questions I have about their experience or transferable skills, whether the position is a fit for what they're looking for long term, and to go through the details to make sure that we're all on the same page. Here are some of the questions I usually ask in the interview. Number one, what are you currently doing work wise? Number two, what would be an ideal fit for you next? What type of position are you looking for in terms of number of hours, types of tasks, responsibilities, goals, etc.? And then a follow up. Then I do follow ups based on their responses. And then I also give them the floor to answer any questions that they have as well, knowing that this is a two-way street here. This has to be a good heck yes for them too. After finishing the interviews, I'm usually ready to make a decision. Although, if two candidates are really neck and neck, sometimes I'll hire both on a trial basis. So let me know in the comments. Have you tried hiring a content VA in the past and how did it go? And if you want my free content VA hiring spreadsheet for the full checklist, job posting template, and evaluation spreadsheet, make sure to grab that below this video. All right, with that, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you want to be the first to know when the next video goes live, hint, it's Mondays, ring that bell. And until next time, here's to your content empire.